So when I heard that I had been selected as Folsom Cordova's Teacher of the Year, I was incredibly honored. And I started to think about what makes a really special teacher. What makes a good teacher? Because there are so many amazing teachers. We have a few here tonight, but when I look at Folsom Cordova, I'm overwhelmed by how many amazing teachers there are and spectacular educators. And what they all are people who have an incredible toolbox. I work with our students on creating a toolbox, and we actually, this year, will be building them. Oriental trading, those of you who are teachers, you can buy the kit, it's not very expensive, and you can buy a little toolbox. And in the toolbox, we put our social emotional skills on how you can cope with situations. As a teacher, I have some different tools. And they're not tools for fixing things, because I don't work with any broken students. I work on helping build up student skills. So let's see what's in my toolbox. The first thing that is in my toolbox is the facilities. It's kind of like this toolbox right here. Our facilities are beautiful, and we have amazing people that take care of them. And that creates an environment where students feel safe and can learn, and that is so important. I also know how important curriculum is. And I don't just mean curriculum for reading and writing and science and math, although I absolutely love to teach those things. Probably the thing I'm most interested in is social emotional learning. And for me, responsive classroom is a really big component. And with that, I've learned that high expectations and opportunities for social engagement allow for learning to occur for every student. The other piece that's really helpful is social thinking, created by Michelle Garcia-Winter. And we use these props in our classroom a lot. We have our thought bubble, and thought bubbles are really important because what's in my thought bubble, nobody else can see unless I tell them. And sometimes I have thoughts that are really important and need to come out of my mouth, like, this is really hard, I need a break. Or, something really bad happened last night and I need to share it with you. But sometimes what teachers need, sometimes students too, but I find teachers need this reminder that we have thoughts in our brains and we say words with our mouths, and sometimes our thoughts need to stay in our brain and not come out of our mouth. So that's important too. Another huge component of our program are all of the board members and administrators and specialists, and they share their expertise with us every day. They help us, whether it's helping students to succeed at a skill that is really challenging at them, promoting equity, or helping us with diversity of our curriculum and representing all students in what we do. So I have my little visual aid here, because this is my little handbook for back to school night, which talks about all of our curriculum that we use. Of course, a really important component of my program is, there it is the parent participation. D'Angelo has an amazing mom. Yolanda, where are you? I don't know where, oh, there she is, she's waving. Yolanda's amazing. I know all the parents in here are amazing, but I was lucky enough to actually have 2 of Yolanda's kids in my program, and they are both amazing young men now. And I watched Yolanda support her child through a really tough time and partner, and that's what made all the difference. And I have here this lovely point sheet. It's a behavior tool. We use all these, a lot of teachers do. But it's the piece on the back where it allows comments and communication back and forth that is so important. So I really appreciate my parents. Of course, my coworkers, they let me vent because that's really important. And they let me get really excited about planning silly lessons that are so great, but they're really magical only once they add that little spark. And it's talking about it that helps me make my lessons so great. They take that mediocre lesson and add the magic. For me, some of the people that are most important are the front office people, because as a kid, I almost dropped out of high school. I did drop out of high school and luckily went back. But those office staff were the ones that greeted me every day, and they didn't say, "Why are you late?" because I was always late. Instead, they said, "I'm so glad you're here." And they were the ones that made that difference for me. And I have to have the dogs, because when you're having a bad day, when a dog comes up to you and wags its tail and says you're special, everybody feels better. And of course, the students, because they often come to me after they've had some school failure and sometimes some failures at home. And they get a chance to learn that they are a leader and they are somebody that can learn and grow and make a difference in this world. And I couldn't do my job without them. So really, I have a few other props in here, but I don't need to show them all. What I love with my visual aids is thinking about a Venn diagram, because I'm a teacher. And a Venn diagram, would you like to meet my Vanna? Oh, thank you. So this is a Venn diagram, and a lot of people think that there's the students and the teacher, and they work together, and that's it. But really, my Venn diagram is way more complicated than that. Thank you. Because my Venn diagram looks something like this. It takes all those amazing people, whether it's the facilities, the parents, obviously the kids, my coworkers, my dogs, to focus right there in the middle to create an education for this child. Thank you.